It's that time of the year again. The 4th of July is upon you, and you are going to play in a cornhole tournament. This is how you can win at that tournament almost every time with some very basic strategies. First, get your fundamentals down. Get your stance, get your grip, get your basic throwing motion, get those nice and consistent. Get some practice in before the tournament and lock in the fundamentals. For some help with that, let's hear it from the pros.
I used to step. I learned that, for me anyways, I was a little bit more inconsistent stepping. And so, again, like Derek King, right foot forward, kind of even balance. And it's almost like a baseball swing where my weight shifts during the course of my throw. I kind of have a load, a wind up, and a toss. But I start out real low, almost right next to my side, almost straight down, a little bit of a wind up, and then toss.
So I pick my bags up, and I like to get in the middle right here when I start my stance. And I like to look up at the board, and I walk up to the board the same way every time. Make sure my feet are planted, make sure everything's comfortable. You know, if it feels off or it feels unbalanced, I'll take a little step back and I'll adjust a little bit and walk up here again just to make sure. I look down at my bag, make sure everything's straight. I get my good grip, make sure the grip feels good. So the grip to me is really just a palm, a half palm, with your thumb having access to the top of the bag. As long as you get that thumb up there, you got a good spot. And then, I just like to pinch, pinch a little bit.
But what I do is actually take my pinky and get a little bit more, I guess, support by resting it in the back. And then thumb a little bit at an angle, 45 degrees. Back, I just try to grip it pretty hard, and that's it.
I've always put the seam of the bag into my hand. And so I got half of my hand like that. And that's a pretty normal grip.
I'd start with the butterfly grip, having your thumb on top and your 4 fingers on the bottom without wrapping your finger around this corner, which a lot of players do. And I just like to pinch a good bit into my palm with my thumb and get the corners to pinch up together, which makes it easier to throw backloaded. And then when you're throwing it, you want to have it ready, bring it back, and then as you're here, for me, I pop my wrist inward and open my fingers upward so that the bag will come out like that.
So I grip my bag a little differently. I use 3 fingers on the bottom, as opposed to, we have the same butterfly grip, but I use 3 fingers on the bottom. It's just something that's comfortable for me. It works. But when I keep the same grip from my normal slide shot to my cut, my roll, I try to keep the same grip so I'm not constantly messing up my rotation and everything on my normal bag.
You want to have your shoulders square with the hole. So if your shoulders are square with the hole, your arm only has one place to go, which is straight back and straight forward.
And then when you come back, it's just a natural rotation. And when I base my shot off of like a push shot or an air mail, I don't necessarily throw the bag harder. It's more of just arm speed.
So to teach new players or students in my classroom how to throw a flat bag, I teach them to stand a lot closer to the board. I really want them just to stand and practice the flatness of the bag. The flat and the rotation. And you want to get them to learn the form, and then as you go, as they learn how to do that, you increase the distance for the power, because the power will come after you get the form.
The best way to create spin is making sure you have a release of your hand and making sure that your hand turns from left to right for a right-hander and starts to rotate that bag.
Finish flat, hand at the hole. If you're flat and hand at the hole, your bag is going to be reasonably flat and at the hole.
All right, now once you have your fundamentals reasonably locked in, you need some basic strategies in order to help you score more points than your opponents. The number one thing you can do is, instead of shooting for making the bag in the hole, shoot for the board itself, holding the board, giving you 1 point.
Hack number 1, wood is good. When in doubt, put that bag on the board. The middle of the board is perfect. You'd be surprised how those points would add up. You're gonna win more games because you're gonna miss less points.
That 1 point over time, those single points will really add up And the truth is, if you can consistently hit the board and hold the board, you're going to end up making a bunch in the hole as well, and your score is going to be solid. It's going to be very difficult for a standard recreational player to compete against you if you can hold the board consistently. The next tip you really want to be thinking about is your mindset. You need to stay in a good, positive mindset where you're having fun, and very importantly, that your playing partner is also having fun. Most likely, you're going to be playing doubles, which means you're going to be counting on that playing partner and they're going to be counting on you. So do whatever you can to stay in a positive mindset. Again, be enjoying yourself. Encourage your teammate. Even if they're struggling, let them know that you got their back. It's all good. You're there to have a good time, and you're still in a great position. No matter what the score looks like, even if you're down 20-0, you still have a bag in your hand and you have a great shot at winning that game. Those of us that play cornhole know that comebacks happen all the time. So stay positive, keep that great competitive mindset, and you're gonna do a lot better in the long run. On the 4th of July, many people are gonna be enjoying having a beer or a cocktail. Manage your alcohol properly. A lot of people play pretty well with a few drinks. However, if you take it too far, your game is going to collapse. So you need to be aware of that threshold. If you drink too much, too fast, without eating enough food, etc., your game will collapse. And that's really it. I know this might seem simple, but the game of cornhole itself is simple. So keep it simple. Get your fundamentals in place. Try to be consistent. Keep your bags on the board. Have a great time. Keep a positive mindset for you and your partner. Manage your alcohol properly, and you are going to have a great chance at winning your 4th of July tournament and being a legend on that day. So good luck out there, and happy 4th of July.